A young woman wakes up, gets ready for work, and disappears. No struggle. No screams. No trace. Just silence. But days later, something is found. Her car. Abandoned. And on surveillance footage, a figure appears. Walking away. Calm. Unbothered. And somehow, at every single moment their face should be visible. It's hidden. Almost perfectly. As if they were never meant to be identified. Nearly 20 years later, this case remains unsolved. And the question still lingers. Who took Jennifer Kesse? Jennifer Kesse was everything you'd expect from someone building a future. At 24 years old, she was ambitious. Focused. Independent. She had recently purchased her own condo in Orlando, a major step forward in her life. Her career was growing. Her relationship was stable. Her routine was structured. Friends and family described her as cautious, aware of her surroundings, not someone who took unnecessary risks. But there was one detail. Something that would later feel important. Her condo complex had ongoing construction. Workers were in and out of the area daily. Jennifer had mentioned feeling slightly uncomfortable at times. Nothing alarming. Just enough to notice. Just enough to remember later. On January 23, 2006, Jennifer went about her evening like any other. She spoke to her boyfriend on the phone that night. Their conversation was normal. Calm. Routine. No tension. No fear. Nothing unusual. She prepared for the next day. Laid out her clothes. Got ready for work. And went to bed. There were no signs that this would be the last normal night of her life. The next morning, Jennifer never made it to work. At first, it didn't seem urgent. People run late. Traffic happens. But as time passed, concern turned into worry. Calls were made. Texts were sent. No response. That's when her family knew something was wrong. Because Jennifer Kesse, it was reliable. She didn't just disappear. When investigators entered her condo, what they found was both ordinary and deeply unsettling. Her bed had been slept in. Her work clothes were laid out. Her purse and phone were missing. But there were no signs of a struggle. No forced entry. No broken furniture. Nothing out of place. It looked like she had simply gotten ready and walked out the door. But she never made it to her car. Or if she did, something happened next. Something no one saw. 2 days later, her car was discovered. Abandoned at another apartment complex. Less than a mile away. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't destroyed. It was just left there. As if someone wanted it to be found. Inside the car, there was almost nothing. No clear evidence. No fingerprints that could lead anywhere. It was clean. Too clean. Then came the moment that would define this case. Surveillance footage. Captured at the apartment complex where her car was found. It showed a person parking Jennifer's car. Then walking away. This was it. The break investigators needed. But what they saw next was almost impossible to believe. As the person walked along a fence line, their face was completely obscured by the fence posts. Frame by frame. Each step they took, their face disappeared behind a post. Perfectly timed. Not one clear image. Not one identifiable feature. Just a silhouette. A shadow. A person who should have been seen, but wasn't. The figure appeared calm. Not rushed. Not nervous. They carried something in their hand. Walked with purpose. Then disappeared from view. Who were they? A stranger? A worker from the complex? Someone watching Jennifer? Or someone she knew? Investigators labeled them a person of interest. But without a face. Without an identity. They became something else entirely. A ghost in the case. Over time, theories began to form. Some believed it was linked to the construction workers near her condo. Others believed she may have been targeted. Watched. Followed. There were questions about whether she left willingly. But those who knew her dismissed that immediately. Jennifer had plans. A future. She wouldn't just walk away. So what happened? Was she taken outside her condo? Inside her building? Or somewhere in between? And how did no one see anything? As the years passed, the case grew colder. Leads faded. Evidence stalled. But her family refused to stop. They fought for access to case files. Because of them. This isn't just a mystery. It's a daughter. A life interrupted. A story without an ending. Behind every true crime story is a family waiting. Hoping. Holding on. For answers. For closure. For something, anything, that brings them closer to the truth. And for nearly 2 decades, they've been left with questions. Somewhere out there, someone knows what happened to Jennifer Kesse. Someone saw something. Or did something. And that shadowy figure on camera is still the key. Hidden in plain sight. Waiting to be identified. What if the person on that footage was never supposed to be caught?